Greetings. It's been a while. Probably wondering what happened. So let me just start off by saying that I work for a state agency here in my state, and because of COVID-19, there were a lot of changes to the scope of my work, and we have not had a break in 2 years. Normally we go through a downtime, we kind of get caught up, we go through a preparation, and then we start all over again. And right now this is my busy time, but I have time this morning because our VPN system, I am working from home currently, it's down and I can't access any of the state databases that I need to access and update and do what I do in the scope of my work. I have been keeping an eye on the YouTube channel. I've looked at the comments. A lot of you have asked for an update on the Plenum Systems. I approached it with an open mind. I followed the instructions to the T. I made several adjustments due to some of the comments that I had seen in the video comment section. I slowed the airflow down. I reduced lighting, I reduced feeding, I reduced the bio load, I increased the bio load, and the whole tank had really turned into a disaster. I'm about to show you. You can actually see here in my background, this is the editing software that I will be using to put this all together. So I'm kind of looking at this now. You're looking at the process behind me, and then it's all going to be posted, and you all know how it works, I hope. Yeah, so the whole tank has turned into a disaster. Today is, I don't even know what the date is. Give me a second here. The 21st of February. So over the weekend, because it was a long weekend for me because of President's Day, I tore down that tank. The tank that I showed you, I tore down. And my plan is to also do that with the 20-gallon tank, and I'll show you what that tank looks like with the plenum installed. So I had a 7-gallon tank, a 10-gallon tank, and a 20-long-gallon tank, all with installed plenums, and they all turned into a disaster. I really have no words. I really have no words for it. So here, I'll show you some of the videos and pictures, and we'll take a look. So why am I breaking down this tank? Well, as you can see, it's a disaster. I am growing God knows what kind of algae in here. Underneath this slime layer, if I peel this back, there is a fibrous algae that's growing under here. That's this darker material. The camera's not going to really pick it up. I've also got, another species. This is one species of, I don't even know what this algae is. It won't even come off with a, you really have to scrub to get it off. I got this. Look at this. This matted algae. It's horrible. So yeah, this project was a disappointment, and this tank is just about 13 months old. I've never had a tank go bad so quickly. So this is the redone 10-gallon aquarium that had the plenum in it. I tore it all out. I actually threw away the substrate. It was just not worth my time or effort to clean it. It had been a mixed material. There was no way I was going to get it sorted and be able to use it for another aquarium project. This one here is a Walstad method tank. It's capped with about 1.5 inches of sand. There is nothing but organic potting soil. I did mix in a little bit of perlite, and I did well, the perlite was already in there. It had just gotten sifted through. And then there was some lateralite added as a powder mixed in. So it's well mixed. It was wetted down for about 24 hours. I put it in, and then I capped it with the sand. On Sunday, I ran out to a very good local fish store in my area. I purchased all of these plants. They apparently had informed me that there was a fire at JFK and a lot of the packaging was being sent back to where they had ordered them from. It wasn't just them, it was other companies as well. I don't know, I didn't look up that story, so that may or may not be true. Most of what you see in here are low-level, low-tech plants, crypts. I did try some stem plants over here. You can see them here. I don't have the, actually I do have the tag. I just saw it. Hold on. This is, no, that's, I don't know what that is. I have Cryptocorin undulata. I've got some Amazon swords, banana plants. I've got some other crypts which are back here. I don't know what that is. I wish I had kept the tag, but I don't know. And so far, they have not melted like other plants that I have planted in my water in the past. Currently, I'm experiencing an issue with great pH, a good KH, but my GH is very low. And I am trying to figure out how I'm going to raise the GH without affecting the KH and the pH, because they're all intertwined anyway. What you see here are some Nanostomosis beckfordi, or just the regular ordinary pencilfish. These are to replace the school that I lost this past June, and hopefully I can get them well fed and up and running for a breeding project this coming summer. However, I will be keeping an eye on the weather reports and ensuring that we do not have a sudden freeze like I did this past summer. That was very disappointing. This is the 20 long. This tank looks like pretty much the way the 10-gallon tank that you just previously saw. This is what it looks like. And no, I could clean that glass today, and in 2 days, it's going to be looking just like that. So I don't really know or have any clue as to what went wrong with the plenum, regardless of the water flow. My lights, I had adjusted. They're currently on, but they're due to go off in about an hour. They're going to remain off for about 4 hours, and then they're going to come back on for 3.5 hours, and then they go off for the overnight. I had done a little bit of reading, and it may be that, from what I understand, low-level tanks without a CO2 injection system, that first 4 hours, all of the plants that are in the tank suck up the CO2. You turn the lights off for 4 hours, the CO2 rebuilds up, and then the plants can absorb it again, because apparently after 4 hours of lighting, there is whatever the CO2 cycle is inside the tank is gone, which actually makes sense because of the way I used to keep my marine aquariums. Yeah, so the fish in here are actually healthy. You can't see them. I've had no deaths inside the tanks other than losing the fish from a cold freeze this past summer. So that's the update on the plenum. I'm not saying that plenums don't work. I'm not saying that plenums do work. I'm just saying that for me, it didn't work. Could be my water source. It could have been the way I set it up. Don't know. I really have no clue. And would I do it again? Probably not. Um, it just, that tank um, went south about 4 months after it was set up. And I had been back to a routine heavy cleaning every single weekend. So either Saturday or Sunday, I'd be down here scraping algae, scooping algae out through a net, doing water changes, and that was it. And I think a combination between my work and having to spend so much time with the aquariums cleaning them that I just kind of dropped off site. I still cared for the fish. I have interest in the hobby. It's just I have been looking and searching for an easier way to do it. So I am hoping that this system will work. Now, to give you an idea, I had set up another aquarium that was a fluval edge. I had removed the top glass from it, just made it a rimless. And that tank looked like the 10-gallon tank, except it was about 5 times worse, because I don't know what species of algae was growing in there. Whatever it was horrible. It was literally growing from the glass, going in here, and the fish had they were getting tangled up in the algae. So I ended up pulling that apart, and I did a planted tank. That tank was switched over about 8 months ago, because after about 4 months of a plenum in that tank, it had gone so far south so quickly that I had to step in and do it, because it was horrible. So let me switch the camera around. I will show you the results of that tank. That tank is not clean. It's still struggling. I haven't given up on it yet. The good thing is the plants have not melted away, as they normally do within 3 weeks. I have killed cryptocorynes, Amazon swords, duckweed. I have water lettuce I've killed. I have killed hornwort, wisteria, you name the plant, and I have killed it. It doesn't last long in these tanks. So my approach to these tanks has taken on a different path. So let me now show you this 7-gallon fluval. That's supposed to be the fluval edge, but I took the glass off. All right, so the camera is going to show you the dirty glass. There's definitely a very thin layer of algae that's growing right now. That'll come off very nicely. But in this case, this tank is now 8 months old. This bigger fish that you see swimming just off the screen right there, there he's back again, going back. That is the one fry of Danio Kyathit that I got out of my breeding tubs from last summer. The other ones are Ember Tetras, one of my favorite nanofish. There are also 4 catfish in here that are doing well. They're nice and fat. I wish they would breed, but I've not had any success yet. The plants, you can tell, are hanging on, but the algae is kind of something that I have to keep an eye on. And I think that hopefully with the new lighting schedule going off for several hours during the day may help. I doubt it. I think my big mistake in here was placing too thick of a layer of dirt underneath the sand cap. The sand is actually play sand that I picked up from Lowe's. I personally would not use again. It was very dusty, and I probably went through half the bag just rinsing it and trying to get the lighter materials out of it. But overall, This is the one tank that I had that was in decent enough shape, that needed very little maintenance and very little care, that it actually kept me going. The Ember Tetras I've had for the last I'm thinking 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, they're 5 or 6 years old now, and they're going great. So yeah, I need to get in there. Most of this top stuff here is hornwort, so if I pull this out, it'll get a little brighter in there. But you can see growing down in this area some of that algae. I'm gonna hope that maybe some shrimps and I gotta get some snails maybe. But again, because my GH is so low, I am having a problem. There you go. See, I gotta pull this out. Yuck. But that's all right. That this tank should balance out fairly quickly. Well, that's all the updates for today. Maybe I'll get back to another live stream, be a little bit more focused. Other than that, I'm going to plug along, and we're going to continue. And hopefully, if there's updates or something you want to know, let me know in the comments. Feel free to message me, whatever, and I'll respond as best as I can. So that's it. Thank you. And sorry if you were disappointed over my experience with the Plenum. I'm sure I'm going to get some feedback on that, but that's okay. I'm open to both criticisms and constructive criticism and any kind of criticism. At my age, nothing phases me anymore, so I just take it with a grain of salt, but I do have open ears. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.